Welcome everybody. It's Megan, the brand manager here at Soft Solutions, and with me is Matt, our senior engineer.
Hello.
And today's webinar in our bite-sized series is looking at custom templates with 3CX, why you would need to use those, how you would use those, and obviously at the end we will have a Q&A, and the webinar will be recorded and uploaded onto YouTube as well for future reference. So without further ado, thanks for joining us, and I'll hand over to Matt to get us going.
Awesome, thanks Megan. Welcome everyone to today's webinar. So we're going to be discussing very briefly custom templates with 3CX. So what are custom templates and why would you use them in the first place? Well, they allow us to do a few key things here. It allows you to hard code specific settings to the devices, and this is especially important if it's not something that can be set natively within 3CX. You can have an option, if it's supported, to be able to add it via a custom template, and then it may be something that you roll out to your customer base. Custom templates are awesome as well because they allow for plug-and-play provisioning for unsupported devices. So unsupported devices, these may be potentially legacy devices which were once supported but aren't anymore, and it may be for devices that are still under testing. So under testing, they're currently going through the interop process. They have templates that are available to make them work with 3CX, but they haven't quite got that official support in there just yet. It gives you the ability to put some custom things in there. An example here is Wi-Fi phones. I had a case recently where we had a reseller ask whether or not it was possible to preset specific SSIDs when deploying phones on site, so they didn't have to go on site and enter everything in manually, and it was part of a custom template, which was very cool. Templates have things as well like time zone strings that can be adjusted as well. Thankfully we haven't changed our daylight savings hours again anytime soon, which is great. But a key thing here is when you are using an unsupported template with 3CX, if you do ever need to reach out to support to get help, they will ask for you to factory reset that device and put it on an official supported template before they give assistance. And notably here, Grandstream are absolutely excellent as they create their own custom templates. We do a little bit ourselves at times, and they're definitely there to assist with things like this as well. So how do we add a custom template to 3CX? So probably the easiest way, you can kind of do this via the management console, but with the management console way, it's basically you look at the official template and you take and make a copy and then edit it from there. But if you were to have a pre-made template that you wanted to add, the directories here on the screen where you'll put them. Within these directories, they have phones, FXS templates, and so on and so forth. So for the Windows one, it's in this directory here, and we've got this directory on screen here for Linux as well. Now, notably with the Windows edition, it may require a restart of the database service for this template to refresh within 3CX, so that's something to keep in mind. So how do we provision with a custom template? Well, obviously we add it in the first place into the correct directory, and then the setup is very similar to how we provision phones as a stun extension. So in that regard, we create our extension beforehand with all the extension details, name, phone number, extension number. We then, from the management console, go to phones and click in the top left to add a phone. It'll ask you to select the extension that you just made beforehand. So you'd enter that in and go next. After that, it will ask you for the phone model, and when you select the phone model, you'll actually see the name of the custom template listed to the right-hand side of it. So that will be the one that you add. And then you pop in the MAC address. From there, it will take you to the familiar phone provisioning screen, which will have local LAN set. So obviously, if we're having a phone set up within a network, we would have it set as local LAN. Most templates these days as well have the ability for stun and to use a session border controller in there as well. So it will depend where the phone is deployed. And so a few key things here when we're using custom templates. Again, 3CX support will want you to factory reset and use a official template if you're having issues. The problem can come with making edits to templates. We're all human, we can make mistakes which can break things. The Windows edition may need that database service to be restarted. And a key thing here, never, ever, ever overwrite the official templates. There is a specific directory to put custom templates into. So don't do that because it can lead to problems down the line. Custom templates themselves, if you're doing backups, especially backing up offsite, which everyone should be doing, nobody wants a dead PBX and having to restore it in the dead of night, nightmare fuel. So they're not included in your backups by default. So if you do add custom templates in, you may want to edit your backup schedule to include them if you want them included. And Grandstream are very, very good with their phone range as well. So they've created templates for the WP810 and 820, which are the Wi-Fi phones, as well as the DECT DP722s, 730 and 752. And here at Soft Solutions, we have copies of these templates. So please, if you're using those phones, feel free to reach out to us if you are having issues with them or want them in the first place. And that's it. Megan, would you like to add anything?
I think one of the key points there is that Grandstream strive to work closely with 3CX, but everything takes time for interrupt to occur. So the Grandstream team do create those custom templates, as Matt mentioned. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. So the point of those custom templates is to make your deployment easier rather than having to manually provision every single device. So Matt can help you with that. If you've never used a custom template before and would like to walk through that process, reach out to Matt and make a time, and he can actually walk you through that as a training situation. And, you know, sometimes, like Matt alluded to earlier, we had a case recently where somebody wanted something custom extra within that template, and Matt just went through the code, which is way beyond myself, and found the right place to make those alterations. And it just makes your lives that much easier when you're deploying those devices. So just because a device has not been through interrupt with 3CX doesn't mean that it doesn't actually work really well with 3CX. As Matt said, we just have to be conscious of when troubleshooting does occur, which doesn't happen that often these days. You would have to factory reset and make sure that you have a copy of that custom template and that backup. So, you know, really important point. The whole point of this webinar is just to remind people that this is available within 3CX, that we're here to support you. Back in the day, Matt used to actually even write some of these templates, so he does have a lot of experience around that. So if anybody's got any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. If anybody would like a walkthrough, you can reach out to Matt directly, which is matt@softsol.co.nz, or as always, you can use the VoIP@softsol.co.nz email address, and it will get through to us as the right people. So yeah, feel free to pop any questions that you do have.
Cool. So one question, do the Grandstream templates that you use the phones remotely via stun for the Wi-Fi phones? Yes, when I went through the P values, they had an entry for local LAN, stun, and SBC as well as the ability to add in manually 10 different SSIDs as well. So the good thing about the Wi-Fi phones is they'll natively roam because the phone has the intelligence within itself to be able to do that. But you have the ability to put actually 10 different SSIDs in there, which was a very interesting find.
Any more questions coming in there, Matt?
No, I think that's us.
Okay. Well, if anybody does have any questions after this or wants to follow up or wants that walkthrough, please feel free to reach out and we will certainly assist you. And thank you for joining us for yet another of our bite-sized webinars, which we know work really well just to share this information with you all.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for attending. Have a good day.